It's Easter, so I look a little bit more put together. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about the material that we covered in class today, some general updates, and then as always, a portfolio update. So jumping right into the material that we covered, this was definitely one of the most difficult weeks material-wise of the whole program. I think we were dealing with some complex concepts and trying to execute them in like 3 days, basically. So this week, we continued with MERN, which if you remember from my last 2 or 3 videos, is Mongo, Express, React, and Node. It's a front and back end stack, and we've been doing some simple React front ends, connecting the back and front end using forms or hitting our database and then displaying that information on our front end and things like that. But this week we started doing user authentication and cookies. So we started doing user authentication and cookies this week, and it was useful that we'd actually been doing React forms last week because it allowed us to really understand how a login form or a new user form functions, but handling that data using strategies server side was a lot more complex than just simple forms or just simply hitting the database, which is what we were doing last week. So it was a hard week. I still don't 100% understand it, so I'm not going to camp out on it too long for this video, but I feel like we're definitely one step closer to creating very like secure and fully fleshed out, web applications. So it was definitely a really useful week. And on the last day of the week, we were introduced to our MERN project. So we've completed 2 projects, 2 long-term projects, if you can call it that, so far in the program. The first was our portfolio, which I'll be talking about later. The second was a mock Wikipedia project using Django, which I talked about a couple of weeks ago. And now we're creating a mock Twitter using the MERN stack. So allowing users to log in, to create tweets, to see other people's tweets, for those tweets to be either public or private, and things like that. I'm super excited. We've only had a half a day of class time to work on it. So starting Monday, we're really gonna dig in, and of course, I'll come back with that project in my next video. So moving on to some general updates or just things that have been going on in class. As I said, we've been doing Soft Skill Wednesdays. So every Wednesday, the HR representative from Green Mountain Technology comes in and teaches us some essential skills and how to be a professional, right? And so this week we had the opportunity to take some headshots, which was really fun, and to create a LinkedIn profile. If you want to add me on LinkedIn, it's just Autumn Ragland. And we also had the opportunity to have a little meet and greet with some professionals in or adjacent to the tech field in Memphis, and it was a fantastic opportunity, and I'm really excited to be making these connections and to maintain these connections. So I think that's pretty much it for our general updates. Moving straight along into the portfolio update. This week is the biggest and most important portfolio update so far because my portfolio is officially deployed. You can see my portfolio at autumnragland.com, my full name.com. Obviously, it's still going to be having plenty of updates. Things will be changing. I'll be adding projects and skills, but my portfolio as it stands is live at autumnragland.com. Now, I did make a few small changes in addition to deploying it this week. For example, on my skills page, I added the MERN stack to my skills page and upped my level in Django from novice to intermediate. Now, I did get some feedback that having the skill levels on the page could be a little bit deceptive because my understanding of intermediate and a senior dev's understanding of intermediate might not be the same. After speaking with Ken and Kevin, which are the professors in the program, I decided to leave it just because it gives whoever is viewing the portfolio an idea of how I would assess my skills, and they can assess it based on projects that I am also including in my portfolio. Now, in addition to the skills page, I also updated the reflections page. I changed the wording around a little bit because now I can point people in the direction of the actual project instead of just the GitHub repository. So for my first two simple static HTML projects, I used GitHub Pages to deploy those. So it's a direct link to the GitHub page website for that. And so the link says play it here instead of, I think it was find it here, in order to find the GitHub repository. And for my Wikipedia page, it actually opens onto the details page, which I talked about in my last video, or maybe video before last. And so I changed it to say learn more here, and you know, that's just linked to the details page, and from there they can view the GitHub repository or the site itself. That part isn't set up quite yet, but I've just got a blind link for right now for viewing the project itself. And I also updated my reflections as always, added this week and last week's, so that now when you can actually visit my website, you're taken to the YouTube video for last week and for this week, once this video is published. So I think that's pretty much it for my portfolio updates. This is gonna be a pretty short video just because the contents we did this week were pretty complex and it was only a 4-day week. So I hope you guys like this video. Be sure to subscribe if you're interested in seeing these every week. And as always, I will keep you guys updated.